What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. Tonight I'll be on Gab Talks at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. So check us out. But this video is entitled Being an Adult Learning to Be Grown. Some of us are learning how to be grown while we're adults because we either were immature for a very long time, hard-headed, or we couldn't wait to be grown or an adult to act like a child, and not be told what to do. What do I mean by this? Say when you were a kid, you couldn't just say whatever you wanted to whoever you wanted in your family. You had to watch your mouth, watch what you say, because you might catch one of these right across the lip. But you couldn't wait until I'm 18 and I'm grown. I'm going to be an adult. I could say what I want. And you might have went from 18 to your 20s and maybe 30s just going off at the mouth recklessly, and to the point where you started sabotaging your mouth started sabotaging your life. And what winds up happening with that is this: now you're trying to learn how to actually have a conversation with people. You're trying to learn how to talk in public, how to have an adult conversation with grown folks and not be viewed as ignorant, unintelligent, or just flat out rude or having bad etiquette, no tact, right? So you have people who are adults trying to learn how to be grown, and they're in limbo because they're teaching themselves in these conversations. It's not cool to be crass in this point, in this conversation or in this environment. They always told you there was a time and place for everything, right? But, some of us feel like when we show up, that's the time and place, and that's not the case. That's one thing. You got some of us who felt like, I could do whatever I want when I become an adult. And, so when they became an adult, they did whatever they wanted to do. Not thinking about, because when they were younger, they told you there's consequences to your actions. But not thinking that, you're going to actually have to pay for your actions that affect your life in a negative way, right? So you got people who are adults who just do whatever they want, and they're learning to be grown and take responsibility for their actions. And sometimes it's a little bit at a time, and sometimes it's in waves where you start to realizing that you did too much for too long, and it came back to haunt you. So to a degree, you had a problem, and for some people they can handle it, for some people they can't. I had to talk about that one. Another thing, because they're learning to be grown because they're learning nobody's gonna come clean up their mess, so now they're adults learning to be grown, like, I could do what I want, but who gonna help me with this? Nobody. Now, showing up on time and doing your job to the best of your ability. When you were a kid, you were on everybody else's time, right? So when they said go, you had to go. But now you want to move when you want to move, and you became an adult who's habitually late to the point where it's going to cause a problem. Because like my aunt told me a story of a friend who was habitually late, and they went to Japan with this friend, and in Japan is very punctual. So if you don't show up on time, the part of the culture is going to leave you. And their friend got left numerous times places in Japan because they wanted to show up when they wanted to show up. And it was a culture shock that nobody has to wait on them, right? So same thing that happens with people who are adults trying to learn to be grown, because now, because you're late, you miss opportunities. Now, this also goes into work and work ethic, because if you're late and you finish early, people can excuse that, because they're like, you know what, this person might not get here on time, but they're going to do their job. They're going to do it quick, fast, in a hurry, and they're going to be done early. So they might start late, but they will finish early. That a person can handle. But there are a lot of people who are, they want to be the god of their time and their space, to the point where when they were kids, they're adults now, taking a sweet time with everything, taking all day, doing the bare minimum, or not working as hard as they could. And what winds up happening is, because you act like that, and you work like that, and you live like that, it comes back to haunt you. And when it comes back to haunt you, there's nobody how can I say this? There's nobody to blame but yourself, right? So you go back and forth, and now you're trying to teach yourself how to actually put in work and have a strong work ethic, so you can benefit from it. But you spend so much time being lackadaisical, or just lazy, that you're trying to teach yourself that laziness doesn't pay the bills. So problems, right? Because you're teaching yourself to be grown, and you're seeing a lot of grown people, where you see people in positions that you may want to be in, and you start looking at how they carry themselves, and it's completely the opposite of how you carry yourself. So you want to be grown. You're an adult, but you want to be grown, and you want to be in these other grown folks' position, but you start looking at how they maneuver, and you're like, I'm not grown like that. How can they do so much in a day? It's like, well, they accepted that they were grown a long time ago. They started, having a schedule and doing certain things, and building on this and building on that and building on this, and they have a lot of years in the bank. What do you have? And you'd be like, well, I'm figuring it out now. Thus is a problem. Same thing. You have people who are maybe sexually repressed, because when they were kids, you can't have sex in your parents' house, or this, that, and the third. So now you get out in the world, you just want to screw everything and everywhere because you can. Thus, now you're learning how to actually either say no, or you're learning the consequences of having too much sex. Same thing with people who, smoke or drink. You hit a certain age, and now you're an adult. And since you hit a certain age, you could just smoke as much as you want and drink as much as you want. And then you started to learn how to be grown. It's like, I don't need to smoke everywhere I go and drink everywhere I go, and I don't need to kill my body everywhere I go. Same thing with people who eat a lot of junk food and not a lot of healthy food. I can eat what I want. I can do what I want. And then you're grown, learning how to actually eat like you're grown, like an adult, like you're trying to actually be healthy, and like you're trying to live a long life. You're learning this as you go, because now people are, I know plenty of people who couldn't stop drinking Coca-Cola till their kidney said no more, or their doctor said no more, who had to stop drinking alcohol, or had to stop smoking, or had too many penicillin shots and too many kids, so they had to stop having that sex like that, like they was doing it. you know. And now they learning to actually conduct themselves like they're grown, because everybody can say they're an adult when they hit a certain age, but it's your actions and your choices that you make that make you grown. So we out on this one. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank y'all for supporting the channel. Peace. We out.